Other than Kyle Pitts, every tight end will be on the board for the Buffalo Bills. Do they decide to take one? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this 2021 NFL Draft edition of Believers Talk, where we take a look at certain position groups as they relate to our Buffalo Bills. Again, guys, thank you for joining me. My name is Joe. If you're new to this channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button for continual Buffalo Bills and Buffalo sports content. Today is the NHL trade deadline, so we might have some Sabres news coming up, but right now we're talking about the Buffalo Bills. So subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment. What do you think about the tight end position heading into the 2021 NFL draft? I know the Buffalo Bills just signed a tight end in Tommy Hollister, formerly of Wyoming, former teammate of Josh Allen, but does that really mean that our tight end room is looking that much better than it did last season? And believe me, guys, I was not a fan of this tight end room last season. So does Tommy Hollister answer our problems at tight end? I just don't know if that's the case. But do any of the tight ends in the draft, other than Kyle Pitts, would they answer our questions at tight end? I'm just not sure. But let's look at the tight ends in the 2021 NFL draft, and let's see if the Buffalo Bills could pick one up. Again, the one tight end with first round value, Kyle Pitts, tight end out of Pittsburgh, he is going to be off the board by the time the Buffalo Bills pick, and most projections have Kyle Pitts as a top 10 pick, and I don't see the Buffalo Bills having enough capital, having enough resources to trade up to that top 10 position. So I don't see Kyle Pitts being an option for the Buffalo Bills. I know a lot of fans would love to see I'd love to see Kyle Pitts in a Buffalo Bills uniform. I just don't see the Buffalo Bills trading up high enough or having the capabilities to trade up high enough to get him. And I don't see Kyle Pitts really answering too many other questions for this Buffalo Bills team. I don't see this Buffalo Bills team being one more offensive weapon away from being a Super Bowl contender. In fact, we already all think that they are Super Bowl contenders. I don't think a tight end prospect puts them over the top. I personally don't. Scoring 501 points, team record last season. I don't know if offense was the issue or not having enough weapons for Josh Allen was the issue. So let's look at some of these other tight ends and say, could the Buffalo Bills be interested in any of these guys? And listen, I will tell you right now, if the Buffalo Bills pick a tight end at 30, I will be disappointed, okay? Just because I don't see the value there. If you're looking at one of these tight ends, you can easily trade back into the second round, pick up some additional draft capital, and still get the tight end of your choice. So if the Bills pick a tight end at 30, definitely would be disappointing. We talk about how the Buffalo Bills, Brandon Beane, this front office, have made the moves necessary to go after best player available at number 30, and none of these tight ends are going to be best player available at number 30. That's just the bottom line. So again, if the Buffalo Bills go tight end in the first round, unless somehow they are able to trade up to like 15 and Kyle Pitts is still on the board, I will be sorely disappointed. But let's look at the names and see if they can maybe get someone in the second round, maybe even in the third round or day 3. So first, I think the second best tight end on everyone's board is tight end out of Penn State, Pat Freiermuth, 6'5", 256 pounds, good size, good red zone threat. In 2020, he only played in 4 games, suffered an injury in 2020, required surgery. So that's something that needs to have a little asterisk here. Maybe someone you can take a flyer on. Hopefully that injury that required the surgery does not mean anything towards him playing in 2021. I haven't heard anything like that. But in 4 games in 2020, he had 23 receptions, 310 yards, 6 touchdowns. In his college career, 30 games, you're talking about 92 receptions, 1,185 yards. And 11 touchdowns. So, tough guy to bring down after the catch. Really good hands on Pat Freiermuth. but a guy who does not have good speed and is an inconsistent blocker. Something that can be worked on at the next level is his blocking capabilities, but not a guy who can stretch the field. Not that guy that's going to be that, prolific tight end target that you really want to see in Buffalo. So someone who is a second round target, Pat Freiermuth out of Penn State. I like him a lot. Again, second on most big draft boards in the tight end position, but still not sure if you're willing to take a tight end early in the second round. Again, maybe if the Bills trade back right out of that 30 spot to maybe 30 to 37, 38, 39, and pick up a Pat Freiermuth and a couple of additional draft picks, I'm okay with that. But definitely not a guy I would pick up in the first round. Then I like Hunter Long out of Boston College, another 6'5" tight end, another guy who could be a good red zone target for Josh Allen, 253 in 2020 in 11 games, 57 receptions, 685 yards and 5 touchdowns, 36 games in his career, 89 receptions, 1,297 yards and 7 touchdowns. Just like Pat Freiermuth, we talked about him at Penn State. You're talking about good size, wins the ones that win one-on-ones, right? He wins contested balls, and that's very important when you're talking about a red zone threat. When you're talking about a big tight end, guy who played basketball in high school. What does that mean? That means he knows how to box out. We see tight ends who've played basketball in their past, able to box out, able to win one-on-ones, able to win those battles against maybe a cornerback or something like that in the red zone. Definitely someone who you can consider Hunter Long. I like him as my third favorite tight end. Now, most draft boards will say that Brevin Jordan out of Miami is the better tight end. I like Hunter Long more, but Brevin Jordan, tight end out of Miami, good option, 6'4", 245 pounds. 8 games in 2020, only 38 receptions, which is why I rank him a little bit lower. 576 yards, but 7 touchdowns. So definitely, again, a red zone target that you want to look at. He is a good route runner. He's probably the best route runner out of the tight ends, other than Kyle Pitts, out of this tight end group. So you have to like that. Quick separation off the ball, gets open early. Again, a good thing in the red zone, but the blocking needs a lot of work, guys. Blocking is a real issue here, and when you talk about the Buffalo Bills needing tight ends who can block, listen, we just got rid of Lee Smith. I think that blocking tight end is something that the Buffalo Bills are really looking for. The Buffalo Bills are not looking for a prolific tight end. Again, unless they trade up and get a Kyle Pitts somehow, they're not looking for a prolific tight end who is going to change the game when it comes to passing the ball. We have great athletes at the wide receiver position who are able to catch the ball and who are able to have great route trees, who are able to do everything you want out of your wide receiver group. So I don't think we need a tight end who come in and be that slash wide receiver who can line up 4 wide if needed, because we have the wide receivers with the capabilities to do that. I look at some other tight ends. I look at maybe some sleepers you can pick up maybe even day 3. I really like Quentin Morris out of Bowling Green, tight end, 6'4", 248, 125 receptions in his career, 1,500 plus yards, 14 touchdowns. You gotta love a guy who has double-digit touchdowns in his college career, a guy who can really score with the ball, a guy who might not get the attention as some of these bigger name colleges. So you look at Bowling Green. Again, I really like him. I think he could be a day 3 sleeper, someone who I'm going to keep an eye on for the Buffalo Bills if they don't get a tight end in day 2. Someone that I would look at is Quentin Morris. You got Trey McKitty, tight end out of Georgia. I also like Trey Berry, tight end out of Jacksonville State. Again, when you're looking at some of these prospects, when you're looking at day 3 guys, I like looking at these smaller school guys who might have slipped under the cracks, who might not be getting attention just because they played against lesser competition, but still look pretty good. And one of the reasons why I like Trey Berry, 6'7". Size is something that you can't teach, and I love the size, 6'7", 235. 12 touchdowns in 32 games. Those are some numbers that I really like. You want to talk about a red zone target, give me a guy at 6'7". Now, I don't know if he has a basketball background, but I would love to take a look at that. But those are some of the tight ends I'm very interested in. Again, you look at Pat Freiermuth early, maybe day 2, second round pick. I like Hunter Long out of Boston College. But you want to talk about day 3. And listen, if the Buffalo Bills get tight end, if I get my way, which I rarely do. But if I would be the guy drafting here, I wouldn't draft a tight end until day 3 and give me a Quentin Morris out of Bowling Green. Give me a Trey Berry out of Jacksonville State. I really like those guys. So take a look at those guys late in the draft. Again, I would love to see the Buffalo Bills trade up and get a Kyle Pitts. I just don't see it happening. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you like any of these tight ends? And which ones do you like, and where would you draft them if you were the GM of the Buffalo Bills? Thank you guys for joining me on this edition of Believers Talk as we look at the tight end room going into the 2021 NFL Draft. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Leave a comment, like this video, subscribe. I'll talk to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.